think the thing about adopting children, good friends of mine adopted both of their kids, and they wrestled for so long with infertility, and they were devastated. And I don't think that was your situation, but they were devastated that they weren't going to be able to have their own biological children. And then they wound up adopting two little girls. And I remember them saying, if only we knew when we went through all the emotional turmoil of not being able to have our own, how you just totally forget. It's a nothing. Once you have this child, it is a nothing that you're not genetically connected to this person.
Totally.
And I've read you say you forget which of your kids was adopted and which, because you wound up having two biological children after you adopted four as well. So,
that's right.
I mean, speak to that a little.
Yeah. Well, adoption is a very special part of our family. And my wife is an adopted child herself. So was her brother. So when we started the conversations about having our own kids, we started with, how about adoption? And we knew that there were thousands and thousands of babies out there who are needing parents. And Chelsea was, on the receiving end of two loving people who adopted and gave her a great family. So we thought, why don't we start our family through adoption? And so we actually chose voluntarily to adopt our first four children. And we were going down that road, and it was great. I mean, we adopted Jack, and Bella and Anna and Luke, and they were all infants when we adopted them, all here domestically. None of them are biologically related. And it was wonderful, 1 year apart. You know, I love how our families come together. I love adoption. I think adoption is at the heart of God. It's Christmas time, and it's not lost on me that even the baby Jesus was the result of an unplanned pregnancy from Mary's human point of view, and Joseph, full of love for Mary and faith in God, adopted and raised that baby boy as his own son. And as a result, here we are 2,000 years later, celebrating salvation, redemption, and new beginnings for humanity. But you're right. It's like, hey, we actually chose you. We actually wanted you. And we couldn't be more thrilled. And we were praying for you. And I remember the time that my wife had this incredible conversation with my son and other three kids in the car. She was pregnant with Olivia, and she was in the 15-passenger van, and there's a 4-year-old in the back seat, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. Chelsea's pregnant, and our 4-year-old was getting excited about the fact that a new baby was coming and growing in mommy's tummy. And he said to my wife, "So, Mom, whose tummy was I in?" And that's when she took a deep breath, and she looked in the rearview mirror, and she said, "Well, here it is. Here's the big conversation." And she explained to him, "Jack, I don't know her name, but I feel like I know her because she's a part of you, and I love her. And I'm so thankful to her because she loved you, and she carried you for 9 months in her tummy, even though she knew that one day you were meant to come to me and to Dad. And we were praying for a little boy just like you. And God sent an angel who knew that lady whose tummy you were in, and she knew us, and she connected us together so that when you were born, you were delivered right into our arms where you were supposed to be. And we hope to meet her one day, but just know that she's a very special woman." And Jack just backed up at her, and he goes, "Oh." And he looks back down and starts coloring in his coloring book. That was it. There was no weirdness. There was no crisis of identity. It was done.